world, in particular sub-Saharan Africa, has witnessed a rise in the prevalence of large-scale land acquisitions. There is growing documentation of a number of cases where a foreign investor is able to acquire areas of land over 1,000 hectares. According to Oxfam, numbers of land that have been sold or leased in developing countries is now as much as 227 million hectares, as a significant increase from the World Bank's previous estimate of 56 million hectares in 2009. These land transactions have been commonly referred to as land grabs, and while they may contribute to investment and development in African countries, they also pose a considerable risk to those who derive their livelihoods from the land. Zambia is not exempt from this trend. Since economic liberalization, the Zambian government has pursued a path of investment promotion to boost economic development and to create employment opportunities. In particular, large amounts of land have been set aside for foreign investment in sectors such as mining, agriculture, and tourism. Efforts to center economic development plans on land allocations rely on the notion of Zambia as a country of abundant land. Yet Zambia has a young growing population that continues to struggle with food security and social development. Zambia Land Alliance has been carrying out a study on the processes and impacts of large-scale land acquisitions in Zambia. If not monitored, these large-scale land acquisitions can result in the alienation of communities. The acquired land also acts as grazing land, water sources, and used for agriculture. In the face of all these challenges, displacements from land can be the final straw in removing the last safety net for the poor and vulnerable.
Ukana kutuna amoni di kwiku, twadimilenga, imbutu tujajivuru. Jeje matwamwe na ngamari hanu wena ana barum kideyi mo mwena muna mwirunga de ana tutamburu ucenyi ana atachi kudiminamu waje tune tukudimi watumbu tune hadihera hanji tudima denu tukuturangisha kudi akwira tumwenu mu mari tudina nyana ko kuyitangisha numashikora cyo tutamburu wirunga kose ni bateri kose ne mukwaka tuwa wenigu wafa ana wirunga tuma ni chimuwani
tomfini festati tomfini Mumbwa kwa ishile tofe kuwa chifati kulesa mai estas baba kumfuto mfuno matandikere to
atulezeli nawo mukashaka manga chachiwai kudima makadibimina akamayina dinerunga dakwa kankawawo so iraka tatakichi anengire nukwejima kuna kuyaburi kutena kwejima anengire
yuma ina ikaridi kuronga eran tianga kwa tianga nuna nawa kamaini dimuna kuzetira we nawan eran viriri yawe na yivirira we nawa china tweshi kwikara wanye era tianga na kwa au na kamaini mwatianga nu we na kamaini na kuzetira mwana na urondera muna china chatianga nuna wantu wana eran viriri yawe kutwamba ochakora nawo tukwirangana kwakara udurura muntu wa kubura nkwira unamuronge sheria kushaka machwa wani menshi kosi jeje makosi na teri kwanda chwa wani.
I would like the government to develop that place. In as much we want industry to be there, but we need land where we can build something, at least where we can, our families can also be settled down. As it is now, we are shaken.
So chashikirwa chachuwaha shumwinei chikuingira umaini kusendisa ngana no madirunguliro na wanganda irangu marasti chitianye na wa mwanda dimu chadenga wani chenjina kuhimpika so muchenjina kuhimpikira antu mamaha mwadinga atiang'en kuyivirira antu aitware kuna kuyilung'ede chaine aitung'ire kumatara hani matara ana atung'u ana rumpurukine kwesikana nomu atiang'en enu wanyi chenye marama haitambuiru anashikini nemwe yairejerereru wanyi nimuna mwekene mwina yipikiromu
yo baswire bafumu ambaine ayo mwamba emwane twamvwa pano twayikara kwa ya moba so baya bachinja mpunja bayibako bamaini mpunja ya bachifi emwane pano yo bayibire mpunja ya bachifi kokwa kuyakokwa kwa jingane olukatajo batampani kuyijijanya bachifi ambaine ayi mpunja kemotwa ningejiye kuamba mwane bamaini tuputure mpunja yetune so mwai bako mpunja so po bafuma bachifi nya bamaini bajiruka tajo baba ya sana ko ne maskulu onse kafako kwitutungira obawubire na bachifi amba tukempa maskulu tukatunga mu hospital kebe tunengejijane pano ate batu ashara tunakuyanda so tujinaruka tajo na bana tubera kankama akusungira ne bana akechibana kwa ku maskulu ne mambo abamaini batambula mpunja yetu.
These are the problems and big problems that our people and the whole community is facing. We have our people nowhere to do some farming. Though they might get the money, but then they have to go maybe in towns and find some small businesses, to do. But of course, as traditional leaders, we don't support that. We support that our people should continue farming.
Because if the government is saying that they are empowering people, Zambians should be empowered by land, the government should come out in open to see that the Zambian people are given that power through a paper, a document.
Can you just give us a scenario of some of the compensations that have been given in your area with regard to people who have been displaced?
I'll give you, for instance, for example, if somebody had maybe 3 hectares of land, and that person is only given probably 30 million or some 25 million. Is it that adequate compensation for a person who is a Zambian with that huge land that he has? You find that the land that we have in Zambia is going now to, God is not creating any land. Land is becoming to, very soon there will be no land in Zambia.
I would say that the compensations which are being given now are not adequate actually to see someone actually live a better life. Why do I say that? Because I've seen the rates on which they have actually calculated the compensations. I think it's not something to do with bettering someone's life. Yeah, because I've seen I would say that it's pathetic to see someone being compensated as low as 2,000 kwacha rebate, which is, of course, you can't even talk about that.
After consultation, we go to the community and inform our members to say, this is what you are supposed to get. These are some packages, but that was not done. That's why there is that confusion. If there was consultation, I think we could not even reach this level.
Maybe our government also needs to revisit some of these policies they put in place, because it has taken long. We are just being driven by the colonial laws, as I may actually put it. So we need to revisit them and see to it that actually we match with what is called the international standard.
The fine balance between the positive economic benefits and negative impacts of such land deals comes to one factor: the ability for local communities to participate in the decision-making processes and be protected from displacements by such land deals. local communities need to benefit from all land deals by being part of the negotiation process.
From the look of things, these people were not really consulted. That's what I've gathered. It's like they were not involved, and no wonder they are just complaining about the compensations.
In terms of food security, these people have gone backward because the land which they were using for cultivation, it has been taken away from them, meaning they have to start afresh.
You must realize that this is their birthright, and they've lived on these pieces of land for years and years. Some of them have been born on these pieces of land, some of them have inherited it from their ancestors. We appreciate the fact that yes, they are coming to Zambia to invest and also provide opportunities for our people, which is a good thing. However, most of them are taking advantage of the scenario because of the gaps that exist with regard to land administration. Zambia as a country does not have a land policy.
Presently, Zambia is entering into land investment agreements on a regular basis. Although these investments are intentional, they can threaten existing local people's rights. This vulnerability derives from a history of inadequate land policies that have resulted in insecurity of tenure. Efforts to correct existing imbalances in land ownership have been hindered by the lack of capacity for implementing policy reforms, inadequate information and land records, and national political considerations. The result has been that the poor are unable to have secure rights over land, and contestations are riddled by misunderstandings and tension, which increases the risk of conflicts. The 1995 Lands Act served to vest all land in the President for and on behalf of all the Zambian people. It provides that land may be administered under two tenure systems, statutory and customary tenure. While statutory land is administered in accordance with written laws under government officials, customary land is administered by traditional authorities based on unwritten, localized customary laws. The Act also provides mechanisms for the conversion of customary land to statutory land. However, there are no provisions for the reverse. This gap has allowed investors to acquire land in ways that disadvantage communities. These mechanisms have allowed the transfer of large amounts of land into the hands of investors without any consultation with the local communities. Therefore, the problem must be addressed at two levels. Firstly, there needs to be attention on the legal and policy framework that serves to create customary land tenure insecure. And secondly, there needs to be attention to finding ways for local communities to play a greater role in participating in land deals. While displacement remains the greatest fear for local communities, the preliminary research conducted by Zambia Land Alliance has revealed that the scope of displacements resulting from large-scale land deals remains small thus far. However, it is anticipated that as large-scale land acquisitions continue and the pressure on land rises, more incidences of displacement will occur. Thus, this remains a unique opportunity in time in which civil society can encourage greater mechanisms for participation for local communities and campaign on behalf of more pro-poor land policies and laws in order to ensure that the scope for future displacements is limited.